Friends, today I am going to speak on Introduction to Economics of Environment. All of us know nowadays environment has become part and parcel of all living things in general and human beings in particular. And consequently, in each and every activity, everywhere, environment is being considered and it is being studied. In this backdrop, I want to today speak on the very important thing relating to environment, economics of environment, that is introduction to economics of environment. I will share my presentation. So far as economics of environment syllabus is concerned, it is basically divided into 4 units: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Number 1, introduction to economics of environment. Number 2, environmental problems of economic and industrial development. Third is environmental problems of agricultural development. And fourth is environmental protection and environmental policy. Now, what I want to do is, it is of crucial importance, economics of environment as a branch of economics. And therefore, I want to discuss on what actually economics of environment is and how it is useful so far as economics of environment is concerned. And this unit number 1, today I am going to introduce what economics of environment is. And in this introduction, what is meant by economics of environment, what is the nature of economics of environment, what is the scope of economics of environment, what is significance and importance of economics of environment. At the same time, are there any weaknesses or limitations as economics of environment as the branch of mainstream economics, as the branch of economics of environment. And it is therefore, it is of crucial importance to know how this economics of environment is of crucial importance while talking about economics of environment as the branch of economics, as the economics mainstream branch. And therefore, today, my focus will be on how economics of environment is helpful for us in understanding what's its meaning, what's its importance. That is of crucial importance to know. And economics of environment being one of the very important electives for MA Part 1, you should know what it is and what it is being studied. This is the reference book. I shall discuss later on. Now, talking about what economics of environment is. Already I have mentioned that economics of environment is a branch of economics or mainstream economics. Now, the term economics of environment is made up of two terms. One is economics and another is environment. What is economics? So far as its origin or etymology is concerned, the term economics has been originated from Greek word oikonomia, and its meaning further can be divided into in Greek words oikos and nemi, and in English it is household management. Now, thus the origin of the term economics tells us economics means science of household management, how to manage income and expenditure so as to meet the wants of the people by a particular family or households. That is known as economics. And its scope was further enlarged, and the meaning of the term economics was given as the science of management of the economy as a whole. So as to understand any concept, it is of crucial importance to study its various definitions. There are a number of definitions of economics are there. All are categorized into four groups. One is wealth-oriented definition, another is welfare-oriented definition, third is scarcity-oriented definition, and fourth is growth-oriented definition. Now, Adam Smith is known as the father of economics. He wrote a book in 1776, Wealth of Nations. Actually, its form is Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. And in this very famous book, he has tried to define the term economics. He says, what is economics? Economics means science of wealth of nations. And science of wealth of nations means how wealth is produced, how wealth is distributed, how wealth is consumed, how wealth is sold or exchanged. To study that, it is known as economics. And in economics, wealth means any tangible or intangible goods or services having utility and exchange value is known as wealth. Thus, production, consumption, distribution, and exchange or sale of wealth is, when we study, it is known as economics. Now, actually, wealth is produced for the satisfaction of well-being, that is welfare. And therefore, in Adam Smith's definition of economics, no welfare was considered. And taking into account this drawback, Marshall defined economics in terms of welfare in his famous book, Principles of Economics. He says, what is economics? Economics is the study of human beings in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individual and social action which is mostly connected with attainment and use of material requisites of well-being. Thus, it is on one side a study of wealth, and on the other and more important side, a part of the study of man. That is, Marshall says, economics should study wealth, but it is not sufficient and adequate. It must study human beings or welfare of the human beings, and that is of crucial importance. Therefore, his definition of economics is known as welfare-oriented definition. But all of us know all productive resources in general and natural resources in particular are very limited, are very scarce. And therefore, the scarcity of resources is necessary to be taken into account while talking about economics. And therefore, Mrs. Robbins has defined economics in terms of scarcity of the natural or productive resources. She says, economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between unlimited wants and limited means, which are alternative uses. She says, economics studies human behavior while adjusting between, on the one hand, large number of wants which are reoccurring in nature, and at the same time, it is limited productive resources which are alternative uses, and how the adjustment can be brought about, how it can be realized, that is being studied. and it is the duty and responsibility of economics. Then Samuelson in 1964, his famous book Economics, he tries to define economics in a very comprehensive, very broader perspective. He says economics is the study of human, how people and society end up choosing with or without the use of money to employ productive resources that could have alternative uses to produce various commodities and distribute them for consumption. Now in future, among the various persons and groups of society, it analyzes the costs and benefits of improving pattern of resource allocation. Samuelson says economics is study of how productive resources and capital or money is allocated and utilized in the production of commodities and various types of commodities. Note the production is undertaken, how it is being distributed for consumption among the people at present as well as in the future. At the same time, the cost benefit analysis is also carried out, which is known as economics. For us, environment is very important. Meaning of the term environment is surroundings. And a surrounding means four segments: atmosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere. In simple words, air, life, water, and land. Chris Park defines environment as the sum total of conditions which surrounded man at a given point of time and space, that is environment. Now, environment has four segments: atmosphere, which is further divided into four zones: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, ionosphere, or thermosphere. Second is hydrosphere, that is water. All of us know 72% of water is there on the earth. 97% is ocean water, 2% is ice caps, and only 1% is fresh water. In atmosphere, different gases are there. N2 is there, O2 is there, CO2 is there. The sum totality of that is atmosphere. Lithosphere, that is land, edaphic factors, rocks, so land, comprising of organic and inorganic. And biosphere, that is living things, living organisms, interaction between other segments, that is living things. Now, so far as economics of environment as a branch of economics is concerned, it has been originated recently in 1970. That doesn't mean environment was unknown to economics. The economists like Ricardo, Thomas Malthus, J.S. Mill, Karl Marx, they have used or they have carried out study of environment, but it was not that systematic and scientific, but the real sense of meaning. The branch of economics of environment has been originated recently in 1970. Then what economics of environment means? In simple words, that branch of economics which deals with interrelationships between environment and development. When we study the relationship between various aspects and issues between the environment and development, it is known as economics of environment. In other words, it is holistic discipline which deals with interaction between different economic development activities. Their interacting systems like atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere of nature, and socio-political psychological system of man. That is studying the relationship between economic development activities and atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, socio-political and psychological system. It is known as economics of environment. In other words, economics concerned with the impact of the economy on environment, the significance of the environment to the economy, and the appropriate way of regulating economic activity so that balance is achieved among environmental, economic, and other social groups. It is the impact of the economy and environment and significance of the environment to the economy that is known as economics of environment. While talking about economics of environment, it is necessary to study nature of economics of environment. Nature of economics of environment means how economics of environment is. It is a science, it is a social science, it is a real or normative science, it is a multidisciplinary science. That is, it studies systematically, it studies society, it studies human behavior, it studies what it ought to be instead of what it is. And it is related with the science faculty, technology, social sciences, commerce management, and therefore it is a multidisciplinary science. Now, while studying economics of environment, it is also of crucial importance to study scope of environmental economics. Scope means what are the actual components or aspects or elements which are being studied in the economics of environment. Now, it is divided basically into two parts, theoretical aspects and practical or applied aspects. In theoretical aspects, how negative externalities affect welfare of the society. That is, all economic effects which are not captured by the market mechanism, which are negative, adverse in nature, how they affect welfare of the society, human being, that is studied. Now, different types of economic systems are there. Capitalism is there, socialism is there, mixed environment is there. How it affects environment, whether capitalism very adversely affects environment, whether socialism to that extent doesn't affect adversely environment, that is studied. That is consumption, income distribution, and its impact on environment. When consumption is carried out, when income distribution takes place equally or unequally, how that affects environment, that is being studied. That is luxurious consumption, necessary consumption, unequal income distribution, equal income distribution, that has positive or negative impact on the environment, that is studied. Now, what relationship is there between growth and environment? Growth and environment, negative relationship is there. Higher the growth, more the degradation of environment. Lower the growth, more the favorable or qualitative environment that is studied. Now, environmental goods and services, they are considered as public goods and services. All features, indivisibility, market failure, no exclusion, price determination not possible, all these features of public goods are applicable to environmental goods, and therefore environmental goods and services are known as public goods. In applied perspective, economics of environment studies how taxation and fiscal measures, expenditure is there, debt is there, deficit finance is there, how it affects environment, how it helps in controlling environmental pollution, degradation, and deterioration. Now, when the resources are recycled, reused, how that affects environment, how that favorably enhances quality of the environment, it is in applied perspective can be studied. All productive resources are available in limited quantity in general, and natural resources are particularly very scarce. And economics of environment studies how the limited resources are to be allocated uh, properly, rationally, and to be utilized fully so that maximum welfare can be realized. That is studied. So economy's impact on environment and use of energy on the environment, that is necessary. Energy, that is thermal energy, hydro energy, nuclear energy. And energy is very important because it is useful for production as well as consumption. But thermal energy adversely affects the environment. It discharges greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide is there, suspended particle matters are there, nitrogen oxide is there, and that pollutes the environment in general and air pollution in particular. Now, economics of environment studies how when environmental pollution takes place, how it brings about loss to the economy, loss to the development. Suppose air pollution has taken place, what's its economic burden? Suppose water pollution has taken place, what's its economic burden? That is studied in applied perspective, practical level by the economics of environment. Now, what are the environmental problems of different economies? Capitalism is there, socialism is there, mixed economy is there. What are the environmental problems of capitalist economies? What are the environmental problems of mixed economies? What are the environmental problems of socialist economies? In which type of country and economy, the magnitude, levels, and extent of environmental problems are listed. That we study in economics of environment in applied perspective. Economics of environment studies environmental impact. Each and every economic activity for production, consumption, sales. What activity carried out, it has impact on environment. Suppose we want to produce a commodity in factory or industry, how that affects the environment, whether it increases air pollution, whether it increases noise pollution, whether it increases land pollution, water pollution, that is being studied. That is environmental impact assessment. Cost benefit analysis, any activity, suppose agriculture is there, industry is there. whether it is environmentally conducive, whether it is environmentally viable, whether it is economically viable. That is studied. What is its cost? What is its benefits? Benefit is greater than cost, then it is economically viable, environmentally viable, and in applied perspective, that is being studied. That is of crucial importance. Then, what is significance or importance of studying economics of environment? Why economics of environment is necessary to be studied? Because economics is a very developed social science. Number of branches are there, sub branches are there. Economics of industry is there, agriculture is there, public economics is there, growth and development is there, international economics is there. In addition to that, why it is of significance? Why it is of greater importance to study economics of environment? Number one is economics of environment studies environment in economic analysis. In any economic activity, environment is crucial importance. Any economic activity affects environment, that is first time, or it is being studied only by the economics of environment, and therefore studying of economics of environment is very much necessary. Now we are in the era of sustainable development and not economic development or economic growth. We want sustainable development. And sustainable development in theoretical and practical is studied by economics of environment only. What is sustainable development? Take precaution of the environment. Take care of the natural resources and try to carry out development that will sustain human beings, that will sustain all living things and protect environment, natural resources, earth, planet. That is sustainable development. Now, the environment also can have economic aspect. Environmental services are there. Their value can be there. Role of environment in development can be there. Thus, environmental activities, environmental services can have economic dimension. And previously that was not being studied. And that is necessary, or it can be studied in economics of environment only, and therefore economics of environment is of crucial importance. It is necessary to be studied. Now, economics of environment helps us in solving environmental problems. Suppose air pollution problem is there, water pollution problem is there in India, in Maharashtra. How that can be solved, what measures are useful, that we can apply, that we can understand. It is because of economics of environment, and therefore it is of crucial importance. Economics of environment is helpful for us in understanding what type of relationship is there between economy and environment, how they are dependent, how economy in absence of environment is useless, or how environment in absence of considering economy is useless, how they are interlinked, what interlinkage is there, relationship is there. That we can understand, and for that reason, studying of economics of environment is crucial important. Then in economics, only economic aspects were being studied or are being studied, those are not sufficient. What difficulties are there in studying economic activities, environmental activities, those are studied by economics of environment. That it is not just economic activity study sufficient, environment is necessary to be studied. And environment studying in economic activities is rather difficult. It is difficult. And therefore, that we can understand, it is because of studying of the economics of environment. Now, when environmental pollution takes place, how those can be measured, impacts of pollution can be measured, that we get idea. When air pollution takes place, it's how its impact can be measured. When water pollution takes place, how its impact can be measured, that we understand. What difficulties are there in the measurement of pollution impacts, that we understand it is because of the economics of environment, and therefore it is necessary. Like that of public goods, all environmental goods and services, natural goods and services have a status of public goods. And therefore, whatever peculiarities and features of public goods are there, that is no exclusion possible, indivisibility of benefit is not possible, then market failure, price cannot be determined. All those features, peculiarities of public goods are there. Those are applicable to the environmental goods and services, natural goods and services. And in that perspective, we should look at environment, environmental goods and services. And that we can understand it is because of economics of environment. And therefore, studying of economics of environment is of crucial importance. Now, each and every activity intends to undertake production of goods and services necessary for satisfaction of human wants. But when economic activity is to be carried out, it affects environment. And impact of environment, economic activity on environment is necessary to study. That is how agriculture affects environment, how industries affect environment, how different businesses, service activities affect environment. And that we study in economics of environment. And therefore, studying of the economics of environment is crucially important. Now we have to decide economic viability of the developmental projects or activities. And that viability we can decide based on cost and benefit analysis. This cost and benefit analysis gives us economic viability and environmental viability of the project's economic development activities. Economic viability is also important, and environmental viability is more important. To what extent it is environmentally favorable, that we can understand. And for that reason, this cost benefit analysis of the developmental activities, development projects, that we carry out, it is because of economics of environment. And therefore, it is of crucial importance to study economics of environment. Now, in brief, I should explain in Marathi so that everybody should understand. आपल्याला साधारणतः एम ए पार्ट 1ला पर्यावरणाचे अर्थशास्त्र असा एक निवडक इलेक्टिव्ह पेपर शिकायचा असतो. त्यामध्ये एकूण 4 प्रकरण असतात. पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राची तोंड ओळख, आर्थिक आणि औद्योगिक विकासाच्या पर्यावरणीय समस्या, त्यानंतर शेती विकासाच्या पर्यावरणीय समस्या, पर्यावरण संरक्षण आणि पर्यावरण धोरण हे प्रमुख त्यामध्ये घटक आहेत. आज आपण प्रामुख्यानं पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राची जी तोंड ओळख आहे ती तोंड ओळख करून घेण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. पर्यावरणाचे अर्थशास्त्र या 2 संकल्पना आहेत, अर्थशास्त्र आणि पर्यावरण. आणि त्यामुळे दोन्हींचा अभ्यास करणं आपल्याला आवश्यक आहे. अर्थशास्त्र याचा आपण अभ्यास केलेला आहे. त्याची उत्पत्ती सांगते की कुटुंबाचं व्यवस्थापन करणारं शास्त्र, मग नंतरच्या टप्प्यामध्ये व्याप्ती वाढवण्यात आली आणि अर्थव्यवस्थेचं व्यवस्थापन करणारं शास्त्र म्हणजे अर्थशास्त्र असा अर्थ प्राप्त झाला. ॲडम स्मिथ यांनी संपत्तीप्रधान व्याख्या दिली, मार्शल यांनी कल्याणप्रधान व्याख्या दिली, रॉबिन्स यांनी दुर्मिळताप्रधान व्याख्या दिली, सॅम्युएल्सन यांनी वृद्धिप्रधान व्याख्या दिली आणि ही संकल्पना स्पष्ट करण्याचा प्रयत्न केला. आपल्याला पर्यावरण महत्त्वाचं आहे. पर्यावरण जे आपण म्हणतो सभोवतालची परिस्थिती म्हणजे काय, तर 4 घटक, ॲटमॉस्फिअर, बायोस्फिअर, हायड्रोस्फिअर, लिथोस्फिअर. सोप्या शब्दामध्ये हवा, जीवन, पाणी आणि जमीन. पार्क यांनी व्याख्या देण्याचा प्रयत्न केला की आपल्या भोवती जी सगळी परिस्थिती आहे ती त्या विशिष्ट कालावधीमध्ये विशिष्ट ठिकाणी काय आहे त्याला संयुक्तरित्या आपण पर्यावरण असं म्हणा. पर्यावरणाचे 4 घटक भाग आहेत. ॲटमॉस्फिअर म्हणजे वातावरण, त्याचे पुन्हा 4 झोन आहेत. त्यामध्ये ट्रोपोस्फिअर, स्ट्रॅटोस्फिअर, मेसोस्फिअर, आयनोस्फिअर, त्याला थर्मोस्फिअर पण म्हणतात. हायड्रोस्फिअर म्हणजे जलावरण, 72% पाणी, 97% समुद्राचं पाणी, 2% हिमनग आहेत आणि 1% शुद्ध पाणी. त्यानंतर जमीन, यामध्ये प्रामुख्याने दगड, माती, जमीन यांचा समावेश होतो. जीवसृष्टी, यामध्ये सगळ्या प्रकारच्या सजीव यांचा समावेश होतो. पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राची शाखा म्हणून ती 1970 मध्ये विकसित झाली, पण याचा अर्थ असा नाही की याच्या अगोदर अर्थशास्त्रामध्ये पर्यावरणाचा विचार केला जात नव्हता असं नाही. यामध्ये रिकार्डो आहे, त्यामध्ये माल्थस आहे, त्यामध्ये जेसमिल आहे, त्यामध्ये कार्ल मार्क्स आहे. त्या सगळ्यांनी पर्यावरणाचा अभ्यास अर्थशास्त्रामध्ये केला, पण तो तेवढा शास्त्रशुद्ध असा झालेला. पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र म्हणजे नेमकं काय, तर पर्यावरण आणि विकास यामधल्या संबंधाचा अभ्यास करणं म्हणजे पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र. पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र म्हणजे जे आर्थिक उपक्रम आहेत विकासाचे त्यांचा आणि वातावरण, जलसृष्टी, जमीन, हवा यामधला जो संबंध आहे तो संबंध अभ्यासणं म्हणजे पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र. अर्थव्यवस्थेचा परिणाम हा पर्यावरणावरती काय होतो त्याचा अभ्यास करणं, त्याला आपण पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र असं म्हणता येईल. आता पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राचा अभ्यास करताना त्याचं स्वरूप कसं आहे, तर त्याचं स्वरूप ते एक शास्त्र आहे, कारण ते शास्त्रशुद्धरित्या पर्यावरण आणि आर्थिक घटक, वर्तन यांचा अभ्यास करतं. ते एक सामाजिक शास्त्र आहे, म्हणजे मानवाचं जे आर्थिक वर्तन आहे ते पर्यावरणीय दृष्टिकोनातून किंवा मानवी वर्तन, समाज व्यवस्था, सामाजिक वर्तन याचा अभ्यास, व्यक्तिगत वर्तन याचा अभ्यास पर्यावरणीय दृष्टिकोनातून ते करण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. ते रिअल किंवा नॉर्मेटिव्ह शास्त्र आहे. म्हणजे एखादी घटना कशी घडली त्यापेक्षा ती तशीच का घडली, ती तशी कशामुळे घडली याचं विवेचन विश्लेषण देण्याचा ते प्रयत्न करते. याला आपण रिअल किंवा नॉर्मेटिव्ह सायन्स असं म्हणतो. पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र हे आंतरशाखीय अर्थशास्त्र आहे. ते विज्ञानाशी संबंधित आहे, ते तंत्रज्ञानाशी संबंधित आहे, सामाजिक शास्त्राशी संबंधित आहे, भाषेशी संबंधित आहे, आरोग्य विज्ञानाशी, इंजिनिअरिंगशी संबंधित आहे, कॉमर्स मॅनेजमेंटशी संबंधित आहे, म्हणजे बहुशाखीय. पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राची व्याप्ती स्कोप विचारात घेत असताना त्याचं विभाजन प्रमुख 2 भागांमध्ये केलं जातं. सैद्धांतिक बाजू आणि व्यावहारिक बाजू. सैद्धांतिक बाजूमध्ये ज्या बाह्यता आहेत पर्यावरण ऋण बाह्यता म्हणजे प्रतिकूल परिणाम आर्थिक व्यवहारांचे, की जे किंमत यंत्रणेमध्ये बाजार व्यवस्थेमध्ये सापडत नाही, त्यांचा मानवी कल्याणावरती काय परिणाम होतो त्याचा विचार करण्याचा प्रयत्न हे करते. वेगवेगळ्या अर्थव्यवस्थांचे प्रकार आहेत. भांडवलशाही, समाजवादी अर्थव्यवस्था, मिश्र अर्थव्यवस्था. हा अर्थव्यवस्थेचा प्रकार बदलला तर त्याचा पर्यावरणावरती काय परिणाम होऊ शकतो, म्हणजे भांडवलशाही अर्थव्यवस्था अधिक घातक परिणाम करते का, समाजवादी अर्थव्यवस्था अनुकूल परिणाम करते का पर्यावरणावरती, त्याचा अभ्यास करते. उपभोग, उत्पन्नाचं वाटप याचा आणि पर्यावरणाचा काय संबंध आहे काय, चैनीच्या वस्तूचं उत्पादन आणि उपभोग, उत्पन्नाचं असमान किंवा समान वाटप याचा पर्यावरणावरती काय परिणाम होऊ शकतो का, निश्चित होऊ शकतो. तो काय होऊ शकतो त्याचा अभ्यास यामध्ये आपण करतो. आर्थिक वृद्धी आणि पर्यावरण यामध्ये व्यस्त संबंध आहे. आपण जेवढ्या आपल्याला आर्थिक वृद्धी अधिक तेवढं पर्यावरणाचा ऱ्हास अधिक, प्रदूषण अधिक. जेवढी आर्थिक वृद्धी कमी तेवढं पर्यावरणाचा ऱ्हास कमी. याच्या उलट पर्यावरणानुकूल वृद्धी अधिक, पर्यावरण ऱ्हास वृद्धी कमी. त्यानंतर ज्या पर्यावरणीय वस्तू व सेवा आहेत त्या पर्यावरणीय वस्तू व सेवांना हा सार्वजनिक वस्तूंचा दर्जा देण्यात आलेला आहे. आणि त्यामुळे कर, राज्यवित्तीय धोरण, खर्च आहे, तुटीचा अर्थ भरणं, खर्च याचा पर्यावरणावरती काय परिणाम होऊ शकतो त्याचा अभ्यास आपण करतो. जे घन कचरा आहे, द्रव कचरा आहे, याचं पुनर्वाटप केलं, पुनर्वापर केलं तर त्याचा पर्यावरणावरती काय अनुकूल कसा परिणाम होऊ शकतो त्याचा अभ्यास आपण व्यावहारिक दृष्टिकोनातून पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामध्ये करतो. सगळीच संसाधनं मर्यादित आहेत आणि नैसर्गिक संसाधनं अधिक मर्यादित किंवा अधिक दुर्मिळ आहेत. त्यांचं वाटप, त्यांचा वापर कसा पर्याप्त करावा, योग्य करावा, विवेक करावा आणि त्याचा पर्यावरणावरती काय परिणाम होऊ शकतो याचं विवेचन हे आपण व्यावहारिक दृष्टिकोनातून यामध्ये पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामध्ये करू शकतो. त्यानंतर अर्थव्यवस्था, अर्थव्यवस्थेमध्ये ऊर्जेचं उत्पादन आणि सेवन केलं जातं. ऊर्जा महत्त्वाची आहे उत्पादन करण्यासाठी आणि केलेलं उत्पादन उपभोगासाठी, सेवनासाठी सुद्धा. कुठल्या प्रकारची ऊर्जा आपण उत्पादित करतो आणि सेवन करतो आणि त्याचा आणि पर्यावरणाचा काय संबंध आहे का याचा अभ्यास आपण व्यावहारिक दृष्टिकोनातून करतो. म्हणजे काय, औष्णिक ऊर्जा, थर्मल एनर्जी, कोळशापासून, पेट्रोल, डिझेलपासूनची ऊर्जा, ही हरितगृह वायू वातावरणामध्ये सोडते, हवेचं प्रदूषण, हवामान बदल, जागतिक तापमानावर करते. त्या उलट जल ऊर्जा, पाण्यापासूनची ऊर्जा, अणुऊर्जा, पवन ऊर्जा, सौर ऊर्जा, ही जर ऊर्जा आपण निर्माण केली, त्याचं उत्पादन उपभोग केला तर ती पर्यावरण अनुकूल आहे. या दृष्टिकोनातून सुद्धा आपण अभ्यास करतो. त्यानंतर पर्यावरणीय जे प्रश्न आहेत ते पर्यावरणीय प्रश्न कोणते, वेगवेगळ्या अर्थव्यवस्थांचे, हे कसे सोडवता येतील या संबंधीचं मार्गदर्शन आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामधून मिळतं. त्याचा अभ्यास आपण व्यावहारिक दृष्टिकोनातून करतो. कुठलाही उद्योग, कुठलाही व्यवसाय, कुठला उपक्रम हा आर्थिकदृष्ट्या योग्य आहे का, पर्यावरणदृष्ट्या अनुकूल आहे का, ते बघण्यासाठी आपण खर्च लाभ विश्लेषण करतो आणि ते खर्च लाभ विश्लेषण आर्थिक दृष्टिकोनातून आणि पर्यावरणीय दृष्टिकोनातून आपण या पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राला अभ्यासण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो. आता हे सगळं विचारात घेतल्यानंतर पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राच्या अभ्यासाची गरज काय. आपल्याकडे अनेक अर्थशास्त्राच्या शाखा आहेत. उद्योगाचं अर्थशास्त्र आहे, शेतीचं अर्थशास्त्र आहे, विकासाचं अर्थशास्त्र आहे, आंतरराष्ट्रीय व्यापाराचं अर्थशास्त्र आहे. मग पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राचं महत्त्व किंवा उपयुक्तता काय. तर आर्थिक विश्लेषणामध्ये पर्यावरण सुद्धा महत्त्वाचा घटक आहे. पर्यावरणाला वगळून आपण आर्थिक विवेचन करू शकत नाही, हे आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रातून समजतं. आज आपण आर्थिक वृद्धीच्या किंवा विकासाच्या युगामध्ये नाही, आज आपण चिरंतन विकासाच्या युगामध्ये आहे. चिरंतन विकास म्हणजे काय, तो कसा साध्य करता येतो, त्याचे बघण्याचे दृष्टिकोन काय, त्याचे मापदंड काय, हे आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामधून मिळतं. म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास करणं आवश्यक. आता पर्यावरणामध्ये सुद्धा, पर्यावरणाला सुद्धा आर्थिक बाब आहे, अर्थशास्त्र त्याचं असू शकतं, हे आपण पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्र करतो. म्हणजे पाणी प्रदूषण त्याचं आर्थिक ओझं काय असू शकतं, हवेचं प्रदूषण त्याचा आर्थिक बोजा समाजावरती काय पडू शकतो, हे आपण पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामध्ये शिकतो आणि म्हणून पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र उपयोगी. त्यानंतर अर्थव्यवस्था आणि पर्यावरण यामध्ये काय संबंध आहे का? पर्यावरण अनुकूल असेल तरच अर्थव्यवस्थेचा विकास होऊ शकतो. अर्थव्यवस्था जर अधिक विकसित झाली तर त्याचा पर्यावरणावरती प्रतिकूल परिणाम होऊ शकतो. हा जो अर्थव्यवस्था आणि पर्यावरण यामधला जो संबंध आहे, तो संबंध आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रातून समजतो आणि म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास करणं अत्यंत आवश्यक आहे. आता जे पर्यावरणाचं प्रदूषण आहे, त्या पर्यावरणाच्या प्रदूषणामध्ये आर्थिक विश्लेषण करत असताना कोणत्या समस्या आहेत किंवा आर्थिक घटनांचं विवेचन विश्लेषण करताना कोणते प्रश्न आहेत पर्यावरण विचारात घेताना, हे आपण पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रातून समजू शकतो आणि म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास करणं आवश्यक आहे. पर्यावरण प्रदूषण झालं की त्याचा परिणाम होतो. त्या परिणामाचं मापन कसं करायचं, त्यातल्या समस्या कोणत्या आहेत, त्या समस्या आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामधून समजून येऊ शकतात आणि म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास महत्त्वाचा आहे. त्यानंतर पर्यावरणीय वस्तू व सेवांना एक सामाजिक वस्तू व सेवांचा दर्जा आहे. त्याची वैशिष्ट्य आहेत लाभांची अविभाज्यता, बाजार अपयश, वर्जन करता येत नाही. ती सगळीच्या सगळी गुणधर्म वैशिष्ट्य सार्वजनिक वस्तूची पर्यावरणीय वस्तू व सेवांना लागू करता येतात. या दृष्टिकोनातून आपण पर्यावरणाकडे, निसर्गाकडे, आपण नैसर्गिक साधनांकडे पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रामध्ये बघू शकतो आणि म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास महत्त्वाचा आहे. आर्थिक उपक्रमाचा परिणाम पर्यावरणावरती काय होऊ शकतो, शेतीचा परिणाम, उद्योगाचा परिणाम, रस्ते बांधण्याचा परिणाम, हे आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्रातून समजतं आणि म्हणून त्याचा अभ्यास महत्त्वाचा आहे. आर्थिक उपक्रम पर्यावरणीय दृष्ट्या आणि आर्थिकदृष्ट्या योग्य आहे का अयोग्य आहे हे समजून घेण्यासाठी, त्याची योग्यता किंवा व्हायबिलिटी समजून घेण्यासाठी आपण पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राचा अभ्यास करणं आवश्यक आहे आणि म्हणून पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र हे अभ्यास अत्यंत गरजेचं आहे असं आपल्याला म्हणता येतं. म्हणजे पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राची तोंड ओळख करून घेत असताना अर्थशास्त्र म्हणजे काय, पर्यावरण म्हणजे काय, पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र म्हणजे काय, त्याचं स्वरूप काय, त्याची व्याप्ती काय, त्याचं महत्त्व काय, आणि या दृष्टिकोनातून आपल्याला पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राचा अभ्यास हा करणं आवश्यक आहे आणि म्हणून पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र हे अत्यंत महत्त्वाचं आहे. त्याचा विचार करणं हे अत्यंत गरजेचं आहे असं आपल्याला म्हणता येईल आणि म्हणून पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राचा अभ्यास केल्याशिवाय आपल्याला पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र त्याचं जे महत्त्व आहे ते त्याचं महत्त्व हे आपल्याला कळत नाही किंवा ते विचारात घेता येत नाही आणि म्हणून पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र हे अत्यंत महत्त्वाचं आहे. त्याचा अभ्यास करणं अत्यंत गरजेचं आहे आणि ते करत असताना आपण या टप्प्यातून जायला पाहिजे. अर्थशास्त्र म्हणजे काय, पर्यावरण म्हणजे काय, पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र म्हणजे काय, त्याचा इतिहास काय, त्यानंतर त्याचं स्वरूप काय, त्याची व्याप्ती काय, त्याचं महत्त्व काय आणि आपल्याला हे सगळं कशामध्ये मिळतं, ते संदर्भ कशा प्रकारचे आहेत, हे सगळं आपण बघितल्यानंतर मग आपल्या लक्षात येतं पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र आणि त्याची तोंड ओळख आणि म्हणून पर्यावरणाच्या अर्थशास्त्राची तोंड ओळख करून घेत असताना पर्यावरण अर्थशास्त्र, पर्यावरणाचं अर्थशास्त्र, त्याचा इतिहास, त्याचं स्वरूप, व्याप्ती, महत्त्व या टप्प्यामध्ये आपल्याला त्याचा विचार करणं आवश्यक आहे असं मला वाटतं. धन्यवाद.